Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Here we go. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
11 coming.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
11.
From the 38, Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, down at the 33. Here's Burrow. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Bengals are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
He's got exactly what you're looking for. The ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Carr. Looking long for Thomas. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Bengals are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
11 MT, 11 MT.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He will find his man Chase complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run, and then executed.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
On 1, ready?
Burrow on play action. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
12.
On second down, here's Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early. Running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back to Mixon on first down. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. An option handoff here to Mixon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Burrow. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Raiders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10, it's Patterson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
11 MT, 11 MT. 12, 12, 12.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Burrow on first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Burrow will throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm.
He's got a man complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2nd down and 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patterson. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st. Here's Carr. Another completion right back to Patterson. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
A solid stiff arm, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. On 1st down, going back to Patterson. And he's got some space here. And he's got this down to the 35. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the 29, Carr. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here, 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Carr. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the 2nd half of this AFC wildcard game. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. And the Raiders are going to get a new set of downs.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. There's some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From just shy of midfield, Burrow. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take over here up near the 40. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. To throw, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly are letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Out to his left. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Carr now to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him wet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go play action with Burrow. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst from 8 yards out. And the Bengals have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Running the counter, Patterson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 more on that one, and another first down. In motion left is Thomas. On first down, Carr. He hits Adams complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Patterson on the draw play. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Cordero Patterson from 17 yards out. And the Raiders have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one. It's a fair catch, a signal for, and take it. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this a very important drive leading in the fourth quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here first down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Going with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Burrow going to get this out to Boyd on the perimeter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. This goes out wide for Mixon. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. Touchdown! Jamar Chase. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team.
You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Throwing his car. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He gets this one to Boyd.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
On second and very short, Burrow. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Oh, Ridley has it. What a catch. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Hayden Hurst, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Bengals continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. An extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future.
And now here's another interception.
Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And the Bengals going to live to fight another week as we say thanks for watching and so long, everybody.